Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Ugh. Look, the market conditions have been brutal. We're looking now at BTC over the last 90 days, so the last 3 months, last quarter. And it kind of feels like all the news is bad news. And it also feels like bad news in just one corner of the market has the ability to drag the whole market down, including unrelated parts. And unfortunately, that's the kind of sentiment that you see in bear markets. But as we've been discussing recently, now really is the time in the midst of the bear market to start exercising some good habits, assuming you have the discipline to do so. Because we keep saying it, anybody that has accumulated a lot of wealth and has made some very significant plays in terms of their finances, in terms of their net worth. Maybe they didn't make that money directly in the bear market, but they took the actions that led to that future wealth in the bear market. And in this video, we're gonna make it very simple. We have 6 basic and perhaps more importantly, actionable habits that you can start exercising today that will pay off in the long run. The idea here is that we're looking beyond the current cycle. We're considering multiple cycles, multiple bear markets, multiple bull markets. And if you have that long-term investment perspective, you're gonna be okay. Sometimes the most basic habits are able to define successful investors. Stick around in this video, guys. We're looking at 6 of them. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. We are a crypto investment research company. We have documented many 100x returns on coins and tokens that are top projects today, really before anyone else was even talking about them. And if you want to see our detailed process for researching such projects, then our new and improved Altcoin Buzz Access Group is for you. Our plans start at $99 monthly. Be sure to click the link below for more information. Bear market, bull market, whatever kind of investment you're interested in, just keep in mind that there is always corresponding risk. And so officially, this should not be considered financial or investment advice. With that being said, let's start by prefacing this video and just observe that habits in general are important because they help us build, and specifically they help us build discipline. They give us mental muscles, so to speak, which we need when it comes to sticking with your plan as times get tough, as they are now. Those mental muscles are going to be kicking in. And there are lots of famous quotes about bear markets out there, as you can imagine. Here's a basic one, and perhaps you've heard of it before in terms of that long-term thinking by Shelby Davis. Invest for the long haul. Don't get too greedy and don't get too scared. Simple. Again, people make more money during bear markets than they do in bull markets when you extrapolate and you look back on your decisions. People make money when they buy, ultimately, not when they sell. But when there's blood in the streets, the buying becomes especially good. Just think back to Warren Buffett. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Habit number 1 is simple enough. You always want to be on the lookout for quality, and you want to buy that quality in terms of what you choose to invest in. Here's an interesting quote by Benjamin Franklin, a gentleman you may recognize from the $100 bill if you use American currency. It attests to what we're saying here. He said this over 200 years ago, and this still holds true in a lot of ways, of course, but also in crypto markets. Everything right now is on sale thanks to the market conditions, and arguably thanks to Terra Luna and UST, possibly also thanks to BlackRock. We're not sure, but there's all kinds of other projects that have nothing to do with that catastrophe that are deeply discounted right now. So if you can get everything at a lower price versus maybe 6 months ago, why would you buy anything other than the highest quality projects? Don't buy S coins, don't buy meme coins, at least not just because they cost a fraction of a penny. Instead, buy the very best quality, because quality right now is on sale. And quality projects right now may not necessarily be the biggest ones, but many top layer 1 projects and top apps are at the top because they're high quality. Look to buy those first. That's our recommendation. We're going to discuss more a little bit later on how to figure out what quality is. But if you buy quality, it will be the first and longest to recover when markets do recover, and they will. Buy the blue chips and have them in your long-term portfolio. By the way, you can always use our free crypto evaluation checklist to find quality projects. We don't always shout this out, but you can always find a link if you'd like to access this. It's included always in our description below, so check it out. Habit number 2 is an extension of our first habit, because once you have quality that you're buying, habit number 2 is to hodl for the long term. Why? Because look, crypto markets are volatile, and that may be difficult from time to time, but volatility is ultimately a good thing. It means that something that's not been moving can now go up 50% in a week and go on a massive tear.
Take some bait off the table, because I think you're going to see a lot of volatility in the next 3-4 months, but get into some staples, get some defensive names, get some dividend names, and really look to position your portfolio for the next ride up, because that's going to happen. The economy in the United States is doing quite well, even if interest rates are rising.
Essentially, we hodl because we can't predict with precision when that upward price move is going to happen. It's hard to know precisely when it's going to happen, but we know with certainty that it will. And so that's why we recommend long-term hodling, because if you're already in the market, then you are guaranteed to take part in that huge upward movement when it happens. Not if it happens, when it happens. And in fact, this is the only tried and tested strategy that ensures you're going to be able to participate in that upward movement. And of course, hodling long term, this goes hand in hand with habit number 1, buying quality. Habit number 3 is pretty simple. We recommend that you own some Bitcoin, because look, nobody loves altcoins more than us. It's our namesake after all, and we love researching great altcoin projects. There are a lot of fantastic ones out there that deserve our attention. That's why we're called Altcoin Buzz. But look, we have to at least have some Bitcoin in our portfolios. If you have 0 BTC, you're doing it wrong. Bitcoin is the original. It's the king. It is the best project that uses blockchain. It's the only truly decentralized project nowadays. And it's the only project whose goal is to become money. Governments fear it for a reason. They are actively trying to legislate against it in many cases. No one right now is really worried about the effects of ETH or DOT taking over their national economies, but Bitcoin is a different story. Bitcoin is the leader, and it's the one true project that both legacy finance and international governments fear the most. Look at it this way. You'd never put together a portfolio that includes tech companies and excludes some of the big names, the FAANGs, F-A-A-N-G. And in the same way, you would not be advised, at least, to create a crypto portfolio and not have at least some Bitcoin in it. Yes, your risk tolerance, depending on whether you're risk averse or you embrace risk, that level of subjective risk tolerance is going to determine what percentage of BTC you're comfortable holding. But look, if that number is 0, i.e. if you hold 0 Bitcoin, then you've got to do something about that right away. The latest metaverse project or the latest NFT, the latest hype coin, all of those can wait. Go get some Bitcoin first. Because Bitcoin, remember, has outlived multiple bear markets. And as we're seeing, that cannot be said for every project out there. So it makes BTC the safest crypto you can buy. Habit number 4 is dollar cost averaging. The acronym here is one you may be familiar with, DCA. And the idea is that by putting away a little bit of money at a time and purchasing at regular intervals, whether that's monthly, whether that's bi-weekly, maybe it's daily, whatever the case may be, but by having that disciplinary behavior, first of all, it takes all of the emotion out of your investing and it automates the process and it allows the market to work for you over the long term.
Now, if you really want to own Bitcoin, take what you wouldn't be concerned about losing, go out and buy half. That way your anxiety of owning it or not owning it is gone. And over the next 3 years, dollar cost average in the second half of that. That's what I tell my family. That's what I tell my friends. That's what I'm telling you. It's the best way to approach investing, because the reality is Bitcoin is a macro asset, crypto is a technology. They're foundational. They're foundational and pervasive across industry, across economic and monetary policy. It doesn't have to be a binary. It doesn't have to be a yes, no. It's a spectrum. So you can allow yourself to sort of blend into that spectrum. You could say, I don't believe in it, so I'll put in 50 basis points, or I do, and I'll put in 10%. That's kind of the way that I think about it for most people that are outside of the industry.
Look, the reality is that a lot of DCA investors actually love bear markets. And that makes sense if you think about it, because it means their, for example, $100 every 2 weeks investment goes a lot further in terms of being able to buy more Satoshis. It's like getting an item you'd already pay full price for while it's on sale or deeply discounted. So to use our example, if you plan to allocate $100 every 2 weeks, and if you stay disciplined and do that every 2 weeks, regardless of what the market conditions may be, it's going to benefit you in the long run. And you too will learn to embrace the bear markets, because if you buy $100 worth in a bull market, you're getting less for that. You're getting fewer Satoshis. And in bear markets, like the one that we're seeing right now, that $100 will buy more, very simply. So keep up with that strategy long term, regardless of how the market is performing, and you're going to be positive. Again, in the long run, this is a proven strategy. Habit number 5, and going a little bit more universal here, but still very much applicable. Invest in education. And look, thankfully with YouTube and with crypto Twitter, all these resources that are out there, it is easier than ever. And very often it's free to get some very good education when it comes to learning more about investments and investment decisions and finance. And that's crypto or otherwise, really. This includes building on the previous habits, like learning how to determine the quality of a project or which ones you should be doing DCA on for the long term. Take Altcoin Buzz, for example. Our aim is to make educational videos of sorts, and we would like to think that they help some of the subscribers out there. Channels like ours and some of the other channels are really an investment ultimately of your time, but not your money. You're getting this content for free so you can understand the market better. You can understand concepts better. And Twitter is full of specialists who make threads weekly on what they're finding in the market. Here are a couple of examples. I already mentioned the Altcoin Buzz YouTube channel naturally, but check out @ZachXBT on Twitter. Nobody is better at discovering and explaining scams. You should also be on the lookout for your favorite projects or the projects that you're researching, like Cosmos, Avalanche. There's Route2FI, there's Dune Analytics, there's Bitcoin KTRNL, Anthony Pompliano for VC insights into the industry. And of course, you can also follow Altcoin Buzz on Twitter, along with many, many more. This is by no means an exhaustive list. The point is that there are great resources out there. And the nice thing about Twitter is that you can search for others easily as well to check out the leading accounts and see who they follow as well. So you can piggyback in a sense on their expertise as well. And then look, the idea is that you're leveling up your crypto education, because better sources mean better, faster information and more competent decision making. Finally, guys, habit number 6, we recommend that you find a niche. And here we're kind of springboarding off of habit number 5 with investing in your education. But the crypto industry is huge right now. Think about it. You have layer 1, layer 2, interoperability, layer 0 like Cosmos or Polkadot, and bridges. You also have DeFi, decentralized finance, DEXs, decentralized exchanges, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Then there's blockchain gaming, the metaverse, Web3 infrastructure, and quite a bit more. So it's just not possible to stay up to date on everything. We recommend you pick 1 or 2 areas, really find and specialize in a niche, and try to get very educated in those 1 or 2 areas. And you can really recognize great opportunity from some scam or some silly dreamers or ideologues project with more information. Plus, you won't be spending hours researching every day when you have a job, you have family, you have a social life, you have other demands to attend to. You can make educating yourself with the free time you have much more realistic by niching down, again, by specializing in something specific. Start with areas that you like naturally and or areas that you think are ripe for growth, maybe in the next 12 months, and then become an expert in that area. And you're going to spot opportunities everywhere that others won't be able to see. There you have it, 6 pretty simple and actionable habits that are going to help you to become a successful crypto investor. Embrace the bear market. It's nothing complicated or time consuming, but these steps will help you make your investments more successful. You need to buy quality and invest in the long term. That goes without saying. You need to include as part of that quality Bitcoin, in our opinion, which is the market leader. And you need to dollar cost average into that quality that you buy over time. So volatility and market fluctuations work for you and not against you. And then by extension, you also need to educate yourself in order to make good decisions and know what quality means objectively. And finally, you need to niche down, specialize so that you can develop some expertise in a more narrow window and recognize the best opportunities in that particular crypto sector. These aren't really hard things to do, but they fall into the simple but not easy category. And it takes commitment and discipline. Discipline is the theme of today's video. But with these habits, you can do it. You can achieve this. Just stick to it. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed, just remember that cryptocurrency did not exist even 15 years ago. Every single expert in the industry now was a beginner at one point, and ultimately was a beginner pretty recently if you think about it. They learned how to work the system to increase gains, and now you can do that too. We all have that opportunity. And guys, if you want access to all of our best research as soon as it's available, then maybe our Altcoin Buzz Access group is for you. It's one of the best ways that we know to speed up that learning curve and educate yourself on market conditions in various sectors. Plans start at $99. Check it out. Link, as always, is in the description below. Hey, never financial advice, but of course, best of luck if you choose to invest. If you're still watching this video, then good luck with our 6 habits. These really are practical recommendations, but if you're still watching this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. Check out these other couple of related videos that should be popping up to my left and to my right. Stay safe there, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. As always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.